Welcome, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the Let's Talk Fabulous show. This week, I'm your host, Kim O'Neill, and today we're talking about the law of attraction and being human. Hello. Let me know in the comments if you are, do you feel something when you hear about this? The law of attraction and being human, and talking about the two of them as they go together in the journey. Can I get an amen? Okay, we'll be right back with our guests. Let's talk. All right. Hello and welcome to all of today's awesome panelists. It's so good to see you all here.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. So for today's audience, me and all of these lovely ladies, we came to know each other through different ways, but primarily we all attended the same year-long law of attraction coaching program. And it's been wonderful getting to know these ladies throughout the years, various conversations. And the other thing we have in common is that we're all human. So we've had to learn how do you deliberately apply the law of attraction still being human. So I'm very excited for today's conversation. The energy has been flowing because I think we all have so much to say. So before we get into today's conversation, let's quickly go around. And I just want everyone to briefly introduce themselves, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where are you located in the world. And I'm going to start right below me with Charlotte, and then we'll go over to Nasrin and up around. So Charlotte, tell everyone.
Yay, thank you. Yeah, I am a coach. I help moms in particular make their own money. Often when their kids are more grown, they are like, what now? And have a desire to make deep meaning of the rest of their life, find a way they enjoy to make money. And one of the tools I use is law of attraction, among a lot of other tools. And I always get the question where my accent is from, so I will answer it myself now. I'm from Denmark, but I live in Florida.
Awesome to have you here. Thank you for sharing all that. Awesome. Nasrin, tell us about yourself.
Thank you. I'm a transformational life coach and Reiki master, and I'm expert in love and relationship. And as all of us did, we spent a year learning about universal laws and law of attraction being the main one, and we're going to talk about it. So I'm very excited about it.
And where are you located?
I am located in Northern Virginia.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. And Souli, tell everyone about yourself.
Hi, I'm Souli. I'm from the UK. And yes, it's the evening time now. So that's why it's slightly dark here in the background. I am a spiritual mentor. And I use what I like to call my magical toolbox, which I think we all have, our own magical toolbox, which is collections of various modalities, wisdoms, all the stuff that's been collected through a journey of healing. And I use my intuition and my insight and my support of my beautiful coaching training with the QSCA as a way of assisting my clients to connect with their truth, to find their purpose, to activate their gifts and into a world of more abundance. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad you can join us despite the time change. So time's difference. Nori Love, welcome back. It's good to have you here. Tell everyone about yourself.
Thank you so much. Well, I am a double certified law of attraction life coach, and that's how I met all of these beautiful women. And life coaching is underneath my life doula umbrella. I have all of my modalities, and I don't even want to take up time to say them all. You could go to norilove.com. All of them tucked under the umbrella of life doula, so that I help you navigate the twists and the turns in life where we birth each next version of ourselves. Because most of the time, a storm is what heralds that it's time for us to level up or shift or change out. So you can find me there. And I am in this really unique part of the world. It's Pennsylvania, but I can access Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, like right from where I am. So it's such a unique place. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
I love that. That's very cool. Awesome. Well, and I'm over on the other side of the country, in Southern California. So we've got our variety here. I love it. Okay, so let's take a quick look at our comments here. We've got a lot of people joining us live. It's so good. Hello, Susan. Good to see you here. And we have Carolyn with us. Yes, reminding everyone to have your pen and paper because this is going to be a very juicy conversation. Absolutely. And Tamara, of course, is with us saying she has her pen and paper already ready. Okay, wonderful. So, okay, I'm going to look at my list because there's so many things we could start with. So I'm going to first start with a very simple question. You might not even be expecting me to ask you, but why do you like the law of attraction? Why do you like the law of attraction? I'm assuming you like it. Tell me.
Well, like it or not, law of attraction is there. So we can use it, or we can use it against ourselves or for ourselves. And to be human, I have to say that it took me a long time to really get it. That, underneath of that, we're talking about vibration and frequency. And the example I love is like, if I want to have a desire to listen to pop music, I know I have to tune in to 89.3 here in where I am to hear it. Now I can tune into others and I will hear jazz probably or reggae, whatever, and nothing wrong with that, but it's just not what I am aiming at. So law of attraction helps us to actually get to the frequency that we want so we can get where we want to get.
Well, and thank you for sharing that. And let me add, for anybody who's brand new to law of attraction, very simply put, a very simple definition is similar energies are attracted to each other, okay? And yet we have this human experience, and so many people, possibly you can find challenges through that. So it's like, how is something so simple? Why does it sometimes feel so hard? And so that's what we're talking about today. So thank you for that. I'm going to give my answer. Why I like law of attraction is because to me, it's empowering. Just as Nori was talking about the storms of life, we can all relate to that, right? And so you may have something that feels like it's hopeless and there's no way out of it, or, what can I do here? To me, law of attraction reminds us you do have power, and there's choices and things, and there's so much more built up into that. But that's one thing I really like about it. Anybody else have anything they'd like to?
I love what you're saying, and I'm right there with you, because the law of attraction, no matter where I am, on my journey, whether I just, like really missed this manifestation that I thought was really going to happen and I'm like confused. So whether I'm kind of sideswiped or whether I'm doing really well, every time I apply the law of attraction, it makes me feel better. Yes. And it makes me feel closer to source.
Yes, yeah. Nori. Yep. That's important. Feeling good alone is worth it. Like that, right? Even if you didn't see anything else happen, it feels good to feel good. We deserve to feel good. It makes a difference in our life. Yeah. Great point. I love that.
I actually think it gives us a different sense of allowing to make life more easy and not take it so serious, and know that there's always support. And I think for myself, I think in the beginning it was very woohoo in a way, but then as I learned how it works for me, because we can talk about what to do and what to say, and we all learned a model, but it's different the way it's different language for all of us. It's a different way it feels and all that. So that there's no like cookie cutter way of doing it, right? But that's the experiment of life.
Yes.
I love that you used the word language. To me, it was a whole new language to learn. It really was. Okay, I'll keep my piece there. Souli, how about you? What do you like about law of attraction?
Well, I love what everybody said. I mean, Nasrin, I love the way that you described it. That was so beautifully described, and says it beautifully. Yes, to navigate through life's ups and downs and life's humanness and messiness, to be able to have something to allow you to maneuver a difficult situation with a little bit more grace, with the ability to create a different outcome. Just that is diamond, absolutely diamond. Yeah, so I think that's probably why I like. But I also know that I had difficulty with it, and there's the human part when I started, because I think often people think of it being, well, just be positive, just say what you want and it will come to you. Well, no, it's not that easy. There's to be connected with your humanity and your humanness and the messiness of humanity and your messiness of where you are right now in this moment, being aware of that and not just thinking that you can put a sticky plaster on it and make it better, but to actually be human and then find your way through the law of attraction that way. I think that's sometimes what's missing, I think, and what I found hard at the beginning. I misunderstood, I think, for quite a long time. Yeah. I hope that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. And so I want to ask the next question. What does, such a loaded question, what does being human mean as you think of where the law of attraction fits in? I'll go ahead and give, here's where I'm getting at. And you just, of course, say whatever comes to mind for you. I ended up realizing throughout my journey of how do I apply this to my life? Like what's, working out the kinks and getting in the flow and all of that. I ended up realizing that somewhere hidden in the background, I somehow thought it meant like perfection. The word is the word I'm looking for. I somehow thought that, I've learned this thing. So then why are things not working out? Or why did this thing happen? Or why am I, struggling in this area? Right? Like there was a disconnect there. And anyway, and so I'll leave it at that. But did anybody else have something similar to that of questioning yourself and why?
Yeah, we're human beings, right? And we're very complex. And getting to know ourselves, we realize how much is it that we unconsciously control our life, right? So it's like the subconscious that runs and controls it, which houses the belief, thoughts, emotion, which comes from the past experiences, from our childhood maybe. And we're not unaware of it, which is rules the way we behave. So that's the complexion that Souli was talking about. We need to spend a little bit more time digging in and inquire within to realize what is it that, why we do what we do, what's the belief underneath that, so we can really get where we want.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else have anything that showed up for them that they weren't anticipating through their learning journey?
I think that we are all been customized, like we are born pure, right? And then we grow up among other people, other human beings, and society and expectations. And we kind of gradually, from we are little as we grow up, remove ourselves from who we really are. And we are all so unique. So unique. One of the other big modalities I work with is human design, which is actually super helpful when we work with law of attraction, because we can really see easier how it will work for us, I find, in the work I do. But just knowing that we are all individuals. So if we read a book, like I wrote 2 books, and I know those books may speak to some people, but not to others. So we can get tips and tricks and all of that, and some will work for us and others will not, because we are humans, because we are different, because we have different ways to translate language in our mind, and we have different, again, as I mentioned earlier, we make different meaning to words. So I think that's a very important thing to acknowledge, that we are not 2 of us are the same. And therefore we got to find our way to work with it and not make ourselves wrong when it's not working right off the get-go. It may work in some areas, but then other areas are harder for us to work on. So some areas might be easier for us to make it work. We can see, oh my gosh, this really works. But then other areas takes longer time, because I think we have more limiting beliefs and have more work to do to get back to who we are.
Yeah. You said so many good things there, Charlotte. So it's all about our vibration. What are we vibrating at? Which is influenced by our beliefs, our emotions, our environment. so many different things. The food and drink we eat and drink, right, Nori? So many things. I'm going to get into, we've got lots of awesome clips from today's panelists that have actually been pulled from other things that they've shared on social media. And so you may see a little editing here, but I want to further the conversation by starting to share some of these. So first one we're going to share is from Nori Love. And here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Nori Love, Life Doula. And I just wanted to come on and talk about your body and your health, because I'm seeing a trend. Under my umbrella of Life Doula, I have a lot of tools that give me a perspective, and I have a way of noticing trends. And I'm noticing a trend where people are hitting the bottom, like in a life crisis, a personal crisis, a dark night of the soul, but the body is involved in it. So it may not have started with the body. It may have started with a bad relationship, a broken relationship, a broken heart. It may have started with a work thing, or not wanting to work anymore, or financial issues, or a spiritual dilemma. It may have started there. But then as the energy spins and gets bigger, right, that energy that's not really good and it's not leading us to health, it's going the other direction, eventually the body's going to get involved.
All right. Okay. So I know that was deep, but we're talking about the human journey today. And I just love that clip because it speaks to some of what we've already spoken about. So Nori, would love to ask you, would you like to elaborate on that and how it ties into law of attraction, where that fits in?
Yeah, well, I just had a complete brain, you know what? Okay. There were so many things that I wanted to mention, and they all flew out of my head. Okay, I know what I wanted to mention. I said that it may not have started with the body. It may have started with an emotional hit, or a personal hit, or a relationship hit. But it could really be looked at as both ways. I mean, truly, it always starts on the energetic level, right? And that's where we work with the law of attraction, on the energy vibrational level. So it starts there, and then it could come in, maybe to take manifestation in our spirituality, in the way that we're thinking, and then eventually in the body, or some of those things just really hit you in the body right away. The thing that I love about law of attraction related to the body is that you can really see it working if you start small enough, right? If we're knocked out with the flu, really dying, and we're thinking, oh, I'm going to get up and run a marathon, right? Those two thoughts are so mismatched that there's no way you're going to manifest that. So it might be something as small as, I think I'm going to take a few deep breaths and see how I feel. Wow, that felt good. So that in and of itself would be like manifesting something really huge, right? It looks really small, but it is massive on the energetic world. I hope I'm not too swimming in the woo-woo pool too much.
It's okay. And Nori, you're doing great. You're doing great. And, I know that was a loaded topic, and so there's so much that could be said there. No, you did great. Everything is said in just the right time. It's all good. Let's go back to what are the things that can contribute to why our manifestations don't turn out the way that we want. I'll start off by saying misalignment, and so many things that can factor into that, and gestational period. And I'll just say that. Anybody have anything else they'd like to say about why manifestations can take a while to manifest?
piggyback in on your gestational period because I see it so much with my clients. That's when they look at the mound of dirt, where the plant has been planted, and nothing has come up yet. So they think nothing is working. And so often, that's not just my clients, but all of us, we still probably do it. We go digging in the earth going, where's my plant? Why hasn't it happened? And I think that's such a coachable moment in time, that to help people get through the gestation period. So I love that you brought that up for conversation. I'd like to hear everybody else's thoughts.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I think one reason that manifestation doesn't work is where our focus is. For instance, if we want more prosperity and money and our focus is on lack of it, then again, based on that energetic level of frequency, our conscious is on lack consciousness. And then therefore we create more of it. What we focus on, we create more. So we just need to set the intention and put our attention on our intention, meaning focus on what we're trying to create, not lack of it. And that's tough because we haven't been trained that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Charlotte, did you have something you wanted to say there?
It was just, I like the clip you chose with Nori, because I was just suddenly thinking about times when I have helped myself heal my body in ways where doctors wanted to do other things with me. I said, just give me a little bit of time and see what I can do myself. I had some skin cancer in my face and they wanted to start cut right away. And I said, let me just dig in and see, give me 3 months. Give me 3 months and I'll be back. And I actually healed it naturally, with my mind and with natural products. And that didn't happen just from one day to the other. So there's that, the body works slower than energy because it's a physical thing that needs to be changed. So certain things I find with law of attraction, we can shift and change faster than other things depending on what we are working with.
Yeah.
So the body, there are literally cells that need to be transported and shifted and healed and changed. It's an interesting. I think it's powerful.
Would
not saying we should not go to doctors, but I think sometimes use our own inner guidance and our own sense and be more participating in our own health. Yeah. We can come so much further. I appreciate doctors. I go to doctors myself. I do my annual health checks and all of that. But I think by participating and be aware of how smart and receptive our body is, I don't work in that field. I'm glad to know Nori does, so now I know where to refer clients to. It's powerful. Our bodies are powerful.
Yeah. Okay, again, so many awesome things we could speak to. I think what's showing up for me right now, and this maybe goes back to some of what Nasrin was saying, but then also what Charlotte was saying, is, we can set an intention for, okay, this is what I desire to manifest. I'm gonna align with that. I'm gonna think of, what's the essence of what that feels like? What are the thoughts? Visualize, right? You're doing all the things, but we may not be aware of, what are the beliefs in the background that actually contradict all the work we just put out. And so you could have these two energies that are essentially opposing each other, creating a delay in the manifestation or creating maybe what feels like a wonky outcome. And yet in some way, if we were to dig all the way in, we could see, this actually is why it came out that way. But with that said, I want to just say this again. Okay. This conversation is not to make anybody wrong whatsoever for what their human experience is. I want to really drive that home. I want everyone to know you are beautiful, you are loved, you are amazing as you are. And this conversation is hopefully to simply empower you to know that there are ways to change things that might seem impossible. I love that quote. What is it? Is it Judy Garland, or I might be misquoting it? I'm possible as I'm possible, or Audrey Hepburn or someone. Mm-hmm. Everything is possible. I truly believe that, even if it takes a while to figure out how. So anything, else coming up for people as
I was thinking about this before, Kim, when about the underlying tapes that roll, because I had a really heavy victim vibration from my childhood. And while I was just learning about that and then getting into law of attraction, every time I would try to create something, I would end up in another victim relationship, or, something transpired in that energy. And it might seem like, gosh, I lost all that time when I could have been creating something. But it was wanting to create something else that brought that up for me so that it could be healed. And then I could move further along. So I actually don't feel like it was any kind of a detour. I think it was actually helpful, that I kind of got off track, but I got something better,
So good, Nori. I agree, right? This or something better. It's when we ask for what we want, we don't necessarily know all the other things that are going to come along with it. And that could start to make us think like, oh no, things aren't working out. And yet we're actually happening in service to us getting exactly to where we wanted to go. I love it. We're going to get to Souli's video next, because this brings in the spiritual component. For anybody who's ever wondered, no, law of attraction is not a religion. It doesn't require anything of that kind whatsoever. But, I think that at some point when you're committed to it, it absolutely leads you in the spiritual direction if you were not already inclined to be in that arena. So, Souli, you also channel. Would you like to, I don't recall if you said anything about this first. Would you like to just say a few words about your channeling?
Well, that's being human, isn't it? The most important thing that I bring to my clients, and the thing that actually is the gem at the core of what I do, is channeling. And I didn't mention it. Yeah, there you go. You see, there you go. Yes.
I thought so. I'm like, I don't think she mentioned what she the heart of what so many of us know her for.
I was sitting here thinking, channeling. You did. That's okay. The core of what I do. Yeah.
Well, so we have a really nice little clip of Souli channeling that's with a beautiful message. So we're going to share that, and then of course continue the conversation. So here we go.
Thank you for being here, all of you, so much. For now, I wish for you to take these few moments here in your linear experience of time to allow us to hold you wherever it is that you feel or perceive yourself to be in this moment. Let it be okay. Melt into the unconditional love and the space that we are holding for you. Allow yourself, with your breath, with your intention, to melt into the experience and the transmissions that are being gifted you now. And the choice is yours. The choice is always yours, whether you receive or step aside and choose not to receive. But there are many, many gifts for you, beloved ones, that connect directly to your spiritual heart, the place where you are divine.
Yeah, I love that. Souli. Souli, would you like to elaborate on what you shared there?
Yes. Firstly, I'd like to say again another bit about being human. I still can't get used to hearing my voice, but what's interesting is when I hear my voice, what I actually feel is the transmissions. And that's the important part of channeling is the transmissions that are being activated within the individuals that are receiving the channeling. So it is all about receiving. It's about being receiving and having the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding that you have choice, You can choose to receive or not to receive. There's no sense of pushing and forcing. And then we come to the law of attraction, and that's where sometimes it doesn't work because you push it. I feel a song coming on. Don't worry, I won't sing.
You can feel free. You're welcome to be in the flow with it. We love it.
Don't force it, let it happen. But But it's true though. If you push it, if you try something, if you're forcing something, it's like you're going to hit a brick wall. But if you flow into it, then it's more likely to, that flow is more likely to take you, very much like Abraham and dropping the oars. It's going to take you where you need to be. And I think that's another one of the delicate areas of the track sometimes is cause confusion, can cause a bit of a because you feel like you're really working towards something, you want it, that's what I want, but maybe that's not what's right for you. Maybe your soul wants you to go in another direction. Maybe if you put the energy in going towards something that will enrich your life rather than that one thing that you feel will make you happy, then it will unfold in a much more organic and beautiful way. You'll flow into what it is that you desire. And I don't know whether I've completely gone off the question you asked originally.
You answered it beautifully.
Stream of consciousness.
That was beautiful, beautiful. Anybody want to piggyback off of what Souli was saying?
I just want to say, I love what you said, Souli. There were a couple of gems in it. One, what you resist persists, which I totally see in my own life. What I resist, it tends to manifest in a way. And then second, just trust and have faith that what life has offering for you. And sometimes we wish for something, that something better might be there for us. And if it's not working, it's because, as you said, our soul has a different plan for us. And that's the best way that we can just not attach to, have a desire, but not so attached to it that we can't see anything else.
Absolutely. So what, I mean, as you're both sharing, this brings up to me the simplicity of ask and it is given. Because first the asking, we ask through our words, our vibration, our emotions, the energy we're emitting. And then, okay, boom, we're worthy enough. It's going to be delivered. We will see it. And then it's about being in the receiving mode. But that can be where so many of us trip up. It's, are you really in the receiving mode? And so many out there might be thinking, well, what do you mean if I'm willing to receive it? Of course I'm willing to receive it. I've asked for it. Okay, but do you subconsciously also have a belief that once you receive it, something else is going to go wrong in your life? Or once you receive it, then, or maybe deep down you think you're not worthy of it, and therefore that's a conflicting energy. There can be these other things that get in the mix of that. And then also the word detaching. Anybody want to speak to detachment?
I would. I think, and it's such a delicate area right now, because we need to release attachment to outcome, yet have the expectation that a cat that's watching the mouse hole, that cat knows that the mouse is going to come. He's not stressed, right? Nothing like that. So we have to find that balance right in between. And releasing attachment to outcome says that you trust that what is happening is for your highest good. Because instead of the relationship you wanted, you got something else that was so much better for you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To me, detachment is absolutely an exercise in faith and trusting. And
but how do you walk that line, Kim? How do you walk that line and still keep your determination?
It's great question. So to me, it's about being in tune with the feeling. It's about, this is what it feels like. And if I feel tension about, I have to have this, I need it now, or it has to happen like this, a certain set rigid way. When I feel that tension, this is something I was going to share a little later. I practice, and sometimes have to do it multiple times, but have to practice releasing that tension, releasing and like actively surrendering it and saying, okay, I trust and believe in this or something better. Yes. Charlotte, did you raise your hand? I think.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot also of us expecting that instant gratification. Like we talk about the law of attraction works super fast. It's a super fast energy. And then why do things not come right away? So there's so much trust in it. And as you said, be aware of whenever we feel that resistance, we are not really working with that fast energy. But then there are practical things we can do to prepare ourselves. So one thing that Souli mentioned, like we got to be better in receiving, tapping into that feminine energy of being thank you, and not always expect that things come the exact way as we have asked for. They can come slightly different, but just trust. Trust is a big word. Trust that what comes is meant to come, and maybe that brings the next thing. Maybe someone will call us. Like that, we should question less the things that comes to us and really receive it. And then, I mean, just one thing that I ask my clients, I suggest they do a lot, is while they are like preparing themselves or getting ready to just let go of everything in their life that they don't need, that is not really a match to that life that they want to create, the things they're ready to let go of. And that can be everything from thoughts, beliefs, to physical stuff that we hold on to because of fears. And so just letting go, declutter physically can and take note of what happens when we do it. I don't think I have a client that haven't seen shifts happening when they do just that practical. And it's so practical. It's something we can all do, like go through our drawers and see what can we let go of. And so that's a practical way to start. So I find to make space, so and then recognize when things comes to us, when people share things, when people call us and ask, do you want to go out and eat with me? And trust, maybe that's the step to the thing that we are waiting for. So we gotta lean in.
Love that. And it
That's
reminds
amazing.
me of Evelyn Shovell-Shin, one of the classics.
Florence Scovel-Shin.
Florence, love, right?
Yes.
But what was coming up was the beautiful tool that she alluded to for the woman who wanted the relationship, but didn't have any man in sight. Yet every evening she set the table for where he would be, and that kind of ties in to allowing, right? But also trusting the universe. I mean, setting that place setting every night is such a communication to the universe that, you know what, I know this is really happening, but there has to be that ease about it. You can't look at the set going, where I'm going to break his wine glass, where is he? It has to be easy,
I love that you brought up Florence Scovel-Shin, the book of life and how to play it. Is that the same one that okay. The one that stands out for me in that one was the law of use. And it was about if you have things around that you're not using, then that's creating, that's taking up space for something else. So we could apply this to what you were just talking about, right? So let's say you're wanting a mate, and your dinner table is all filled up with, mail and a bunch of other stuff, and you aren't doing that, like what Nori was talking about, making space for that person. Where would they even be? Where would they sit? Sometimes it's not about not aligning with this or that or the beliefs and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes it's about where would it even go if you did receive it? Right? Do you even have the time for things like that? Yeah. So, okay, this is all factoring into a nice clip that we have from Nasrin. So I'm going to get to sharing that now. We'll be right back.
I was having a conversation with a client about how we can open up to receive more. Did you know you have an allowing meter? Let me explain. Right now, if you look around what you have created in your life, your home, the object inside your home, your relationships, the one you like and the one you don't like, your friendships with your coworker, your job, the promotion you want or you got, anything that you have created, if you think about it, at some point in time, it was just a thought, a desire, an idea, allowing yourself to see the possibility if you believed you deserve it or not. All of this together has created an allowing meter for you. So how much joy, happiness, love, abundance, possibility you allow in each area of your life depends on your allowing meter.
Nasrin, I love that you brought up the allowing meter. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think we all said something about that, right? In a way that to the extent that we receive is to the extent that we open to receive. And then do we see the possibility, which if you go down in, we talked about how subconscious controlled our behavior. Do I believe that I'm worth it? Am I capable of creating what I want? So we all have that limitation, perceived limitation that we have created, which we can all go above if we open up to possibility and go deeper. It's like, why do I believe I don't deserve? And we change that paradigm in ourselves to create what we truly want in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And that concept, well, when I first heard it came from Christy Whitman, her book, I think The Art of Having It All, fabulous book. And yeah, did anybody else want to say anything about the allowing meter? I know we've already kind of been talking about that in essence.
Well, there's something that came up for me in what everybody's said recently, but Charlotte, you said something that triggered something for me, which is kind of about allowing, is also to notice, which is because you could be focusing on what you want over here and going towards it, but on the road towards that, you'll be missing perhaps little gems, little beautiful, I mean, something that comes through quite a lot with channeling is noticing the beauty. They're like little portals. So you notice, oh my gosh, thank you, that was wonderful. And it may be just a tiny little thing along the road, but if you notice it, if you take the time to notice it, it's almost like it opens up a portal of possibilities and probably would then speed you even quicker along your journey to whatever it is that you're desiring, and also open you more to allowing. So that's always an important message that comes through, is notice and notice the beauty in each moment, in the beauty of us all being here in this space with all of these people. And I'm so sorry, I can't keep up with the comments. I'm so happy that everybody's here and I want to comment and I want to listen to what you're saying. So I do apologize to those that are commenting because I can't even stop to do that. I'll have a look afterwards. But yes, I do notice the comments and it fills my heart with love. And I'm so grateful for being here with all of you guys. Yeah. Notice the beauty, and there will be more there for you to enjoy, and then to allow the whatever it is that is for you in your life that you're desiring will flow to you rather than you having to push for it. I'm going back to the pushing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trusting what is showing up now is perhaps what you need the most in life to learn or move on from something.
And Nasrin, something I have found, and this is something I've been working on, is when those things that we don't want to show up, I think those are some of the most critical moments to recognize it's still in process. It's still being created, it's still coming. This is part of it, rather than all of a sudden then defaulting back to, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. It's not happening. What, right? No. Start, get to that neutral space and it's practice, right? I'm not saying, it's going to happen the first time, maybe that you try it, but just start to find some of the ease. And I think that finding the positive and the gratitude in things absolutely helps support us in softening that energy, like Souli was talking about.
Yeah. And I love something that I heard that is like, we go to school, we learn and take a test, but in life, we have to take the test, then we learn. So it's part of life, right? As Souli says, just take it easy, enjoy while you can, whatever is on your way.
Did anybody have a hard time when you first started See, I'm even catching myself right now as I say this, but it relates. Okay. Did anybody find it challenging when they were like immersed in learning about law of attraction, how to apply it to everything? Did you find it challenging to have normal conversations with people who weren't also learning about law of attraction? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can. I relate.
Definitely.
You know, for me, I eventually, it was like I'd be on the phone with someone and be like, I literally don't even know what to say right now because I'm trying to say the right words. But I could share with them this, piece of information that I just learned about something. There was like all this contradictory stuff going on, and I was just having such a hard time. And so for me, part of the human journey was, okay, Kim, it ease up a little bit. It's okay. I had to start to give myself permission to use words. Now, words are powerful. We do want to be mindful of our words. Our words influence, what shows up in our world. And part of my experience is I had to learn, Kim, it's okay. It's okay to use certain words. And as you go, soften up, find other words, to shift into as you go. But don't be so hard on yourself about, certain things, because then that only introduces more resistance than there would have been otherwise. So yeah, anybody else want to speak to that? Or
I would love to speak to that. I think there's so many things in what everybody have said so far. So first of all, I would say to Nasrin's like allowing meter, there's also a lot of power in saying no. And there's a lot of power in being discerning and say, this is what I want. This is what lights me up. This is what, this dream, this amount of money, this job, this is what feels like expansive. So trust that, and then allow to say no to other things. And then I also, one of the things that I love to be practical. So the people, and this is what you just brought up, Kim, I think it's also important then when we grow and learn new things and we expand and we practice to master something like law of attraction, that we also allow, back to what Nasrin talked about and what Souli also talked about, to receive the people that we can play with, like we do here on this call, like that we build a tribe, I call it, of people where we can have these conversations, where we can use these words, and then also allow other people to be on their path in life. And we all bump into different awareness of tools we can use, like the law of attraction, at different times in life, and allow other people to do it in their time and not make us wrong or faster or higher or lower or anything, because we are all equal. We are all equal. But I think it's good to allow us to have new people in life that we can then play with at the level we are practicing.
Okay, Charlotte, yes. And two, I love that you brought up allowing other people to be who they are, be in their flow and their timing and all of that. To me, that also brings up compassion for self, compassion for others. And I'm going to give it one of these. So thank you for adding that in. Okay, we are starting to near the end of the conversation, and we have one more video clip, actually a couple video clips, but I want to share now what Charlotte had to say. Again, this is an edited clip, so Charlotte can elaborate afterwards. But here's a tip that I think is really useful for all of us as we are practicing, manifesting, and shifting into alignment. So we'll be right back.
After New Year's and my daughter was about to go back to college that morning, talking about, whoa, those weeks she had been home went so fast. And I had a moment where I felt like I didn't get enough time with her. Like I didn't get in, like I could have, I wanted so much more than what I had. I had one of those moments like, oh my gosh, I don't want her to leave. I want to do many more things with her. And then we sat down, we talked about it. And then we just went through the days she had been home, and we together remembered all the things we actually had done. And there were things that in that moment, a few minutes before, where I was in despair, like lack mindset and not conscious, that I didn't remember. So when we sat down together and went through the weeks and captured all the moments we had together, it was like suddenly, whoa, we really did a lot. And it totally shifted how I felt about her leaving. I kind of built that from inside out gratitude of the time we had together. And I want you to do that not just for the past few weeks, but for your entire life. Write it all down. This is your life.
Okay, and Charlotte, that's a much longer video that she shared with us. Charlotte, right after that, you actually shared what you specifically did to shift into a more appreciative vibration. Do you remember what you shared? If not, I can.
I think I did, because this was an exercise I gave the 5 last days of last year to have a great transition. We can use this every day, every month, whenever we want to reset, or whenever we want to feel more gratitude and more like we have a rich life, because we all do have that, whatever we are going through. We can look through our photos. Is that right? And we can look through our calendar. And just like, I literally do that every year. I literally go through every single page. Well, now it's digital, right? But every single day in my life, and my journal. I always have a little book with me where I write down things, not just note for a call like this, but thoughts, gratitude, wins, celebrations, things I want to remember. So go through all your notes, go through pictures, go through your calendar. And I bet, like me and like those I work with, we forget all the experiences we have had. So if we then start to make a list of all the experiences we have had, it just totally, so we can sometimes go through a life. We already, like, we're in the middle, no, we have passed middle of February, and we, all of us are, oh my gosh, where does time go? Such a normal, and it's really not being very nice to our life to say it. Instead of, it's like, but if if we can do a little bit work to help ourselves to really recognize the little moments when we cook with our children, or right now I'm visiting my daughter, I'm sitting in her room, and like, yesterday, I watched her and her boyfriend cook the most delicious meal. Like, take note of all these things. Or when we talk to a girlfriend we haven't talked with in an hour, or when in a year, or when we meet someone and they comment, whatever. But really take note of all the little and big things in life. It's worth doing that exercise. That's what I talked about that. And it has to do about gratitude, which we must. I just want to say one more thing. And that is, like, one of the things I really like is to help people make peace with where we are now.
Yes.
We can't, that's the best way to elevate and work with love, is to start to make peace with where we are now. And find a way to reset and say, okay, I am where I am now, and things can change fast. The better we can be at making peace with what is now, even whatever money is in the bank, or whatever furniture we have, or clothes, or health things. Like, it's really powerful. And these are one of the tools that can be used for that.
Well, I think, excuse me, I think it's a great tool, because not only does it support you in feeling better in the moment, clicking into gratitude and appreciation, realizing, wow, we actually did do a lot more. And like Charlotte said, you can do this for anything at all. If you're starting to think, oh, I haven't accomplished very much in my life for whatever reason, go back in your calendar, your photos, look back and remind yourself all the things you've been doing. But also, that consistency of momentum in your vibration, it also helps you with whatever else you've been trying to manifest. So if you've been trying to manifest this one thing over here, and now there's a separate situation kind of tripping up your vibration, this is why it also helps you. It's like, okay, let's get back into that better feeling space, so we can continue the momentum towards the next thing I'm also manifesting. Yeah, so we are nearing the end of today's conversation. I want to quickly go around and get everyone's final thoughts before we end, because it could say so much more. I'm going to say we probably have about 20 seconds per person. So I'm going to start with Souli. Souli, what are your final thoughts on today's conversation?
I've loved what everybody's said, and I'm so grateful to being here. And I think gratitude, which has been mentioned, is one of the gifts of joy that can give you joy, can ignite the joy within you. Anything that you can be grateful for, and there's always something to be grateful for. So gratitude. I'm grateful for this place here. I'm grateful for everybody who's watching and who will watch and listen at any time throughout time. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel, that raises my vibration. That raises my level of where I am, and therefore I have more of an ability to create and attract that which will bring me more joy. And then so on and goes. But never
Absolutely.
make yourself wrong. Never make yourself wrong. And allow yourself to be where you are. I could just go elsewhere. I could go on.
Oh, I know. Okay, Souli, I'm gonna have to cut you off here. Okay, Charlotte, final thoughts. It's okay, Souli.
Yeah, I would say I, for many, many years, was such a perfectionist, and I may still have some of it in me, but being aware that the more I embrace being perfectly imperfect, the better law of attraction works for me.
Love it. Absolutely.
And being playful, being more playful in life. Like,
excellent.
not taking yourself so serious.
Nasrin, how about you?
I'm grateful to be here, and everybody already shared what I want to say. But one thing I want to say, all our power live in now. So be in the moment.
Yep. Another good one to practice. And Nori, what are your final thoughts?
Love that. You know, this word is thrown around, especially on the internet with people we've never met. But this really feels like family today, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to say thank you for putting this together and for the amazing information. And people had to feel what we were sharing, you know? So I think that people who might even be new to law of attraction could actually feel the energetic shifts with each and every one of what we said. It was so beautiful. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, Nori. Absolutely. And I'm going to give some final thoughts. I want to make sure everyone knows, we shared a lot today, and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, there's so many things I've got to shift, my emotions, my thoughts, my beliefs. I don't even know what I'm believing. Any shift in any area makes a difference. So just start where you are. Start where you are. It all adds up. And I find that it's a process. So those are my final thoughts. I'm going to play a couple of videos as we close out. Thank you for being here, everybody. Let us know if you like this and would like to hear more in the future, possibly. Have an amazing day. We'll see you all again very soon.
I want to say thank you for joining us today and welcome you back next Sunday as we once again are joined by a panel of subject matter experts that will explore and focus in on our fabulous lives. Until next Sunday.